Chelsea fans, after another embarrassing defeat to Brighton 3-0 at the Amex, enough is enough. I apologise on how late I'm getting this video out because I'm going to be honest, my head was on Mars and I have not been very well this week to make long form YouTube and I have missed you guys. Now a lot of you guys really enjoy the 5 Things We Learned series and I do appreciate the support, but this video is going to feel like deja vu because in the last 6 days Brighton have slapped us about, got 2 victories out of 2, knocked us out the FA Cup, picked up 3 points in the Premier League and we have only managed 1 shot on target in 180 minutes of football. So strap in because in this video we're going over 5 things that we learned from Brighton 3, Chelsea 0.
Did you know that only 15.9% of you are currently subscribed to the channel? So if you are new, you're a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe. Join the community. We're on the road to 10k this year.
Now the first thing I want to talk about is the team mentality. Where was it? What was that? What did we witness? We were embarrassed all across the pitch. The players looked like they're down tools and didn't want to be there. And this has been instilled in them from the management, from the sporting directors, from the owners. What have the team got to play for when you have the manager and the owners saying, we don't need Champions League football. That isn't the target this year. Just go play for vibes. It's all good. What is that all about? Our team, our squad is running so thin from the mentality, the performances have been woeful in the last 2 months, and the availability of players. The ownership, the sporting directors, they didn't back Maresca when it came to the January transfer window, and we are now paying the price. Us Chelsea fans have been screaming for years to get a centre forward, a striker, an out-and-out 9. Still don't have one. But don't worry, we've got Nicholas Jackson and Mark Guiu. Now, yes, it's unfortunate they both got injured, as soon as the window shut? And now we have no recognised striker and have to play Nkunku as a 9, who is massively not a 9, but we'll get onto him in a minute. Honestly, what is being said behind closed doors? Because if the PR we're being fed on the outside is, it's just vibes this year, don't worry about it, then what are the players being told? They are obviously getting told a lot more than what we are on the outside. The outside is to keep us fans happy, right? To understand the message and the vision and what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve. We are Chelsea Football Club. We shouldn't be going, yeah, Champions League isn't a priority. We'll worry about that next year. We're ahead of schedule. What schedule? What schedule are we ahead of? 3 seasons without European football, without Champions League football. Now, Chelsea fans may sound entitled, but we've been used to, 19, 20 years of success? This new ownership since they've come in have completely ripped everything up, and we'll talk about them a little bit in the video as well, because they are... I don't want to talk about it right now. We'll talk about it later in the video. But you can see from all the players, they're frustrated. You can see the likes of Cole Palmer being like, what is the point? You can see the players just down in tools, not playing football the way they should be. They just don't want to be there. And something needs to change. It needs to change because we are going to fall down this table so quickly. The second thing I want to talk about is Christopher Nkunku. Now look, I could go through every individual player and go through why they were terrible last night. I really, really could. And I don't want to specifically single out a player too much and target them. And this isn't directly at Nkunku himself. It's about how he's being utilised. Enzo Maresca has said time and time again, Nkunku isn't a 9. Nkunku is not a 9. Nkunku is in rotation with Jackson and we can play him as a 9, but he's not really a 9. That's all we keep hearing. Last game against Brighton, he was woeful. He was non-existent. He was picking the ball up in central midfield. Time and time again, making silly 5-yard passes side to side. And anytime he was in the final third, wasn't making any runs a 9 would do. Link-up play was terrible. He was bullied off the ball by Brighton defenders and midfielders. And the same thing happened last night. Exactly the same. Deja vu. The exact same thing. If he's not a 9, why are we playing him as a 9? If he's not a 9, why are we playing him there? Someone make it make sense. Now, you could say... Maresca hasn't really got a lot to utilise. Try something different. Neto's played as a 9. Try him there. Play Cole Palmer as a false 9. He's done that. He did it under Pochettino. I think he played 6 games there under Pochettino and managed to get 3 GA out of those 6 games. So he's at least semi-productive as a false 9. But Palmer needs rest as well. There's no one to rest him because we offloaded Felix for the rest of the season. We're an absolute mess when it comes to our attacking line. But Nkunku doesn't offer anything as a 9. So why are we playing him there? I really thought that Maresca was going to go, right, we got slapped up and thrown out the FA Cup last game against Brighton. Things need to change drastically. Change some personnel, maybe change the system a little bit, tweak some things, try something creative because something needs to change. It was worse. How can you have 6 days to prepare against the same opponent in the same stadium in the Premier League, which is arguably, well, according to Enzo Maresca, the main priority, and perform worse by using pretty much the same players? It's just embarrassing, mate. The third thing I want to talk about is Enzo Maresca. Now, this is a bit of a strange one for me because I do feel a bit of sympathy for Enzo Maresca. He can only use what he's got available, right? And that is a part of it. The entirety of the blame cannot go on Enzo Maresca. The entirety of the blame cannot go on the players. That goes to the owners and the sporting directors because of the structure and vision that they've created. And again, we'll talk about them later in the video, so make sure you watch to the end because that's where we're really going to start breaking things down. But it doesn't mean he can't get any blame. Of course he can. He's very, very stubborn. He's very clearly got one way or no way. And when it's not working, he doesn't adapt. There's no adaptation. There's no creativity. Like, how can you play 180 minutes of football against the same team? Pretty much know how they're going to set up and play against you in the second game. And in the second game, perform worse and have 0 shots on target the entire 90. No creativity. No, there was nothing different. Brighton were like, oh, cool, same as last week. Well, let's just have some fun, boys. And this isn't to discredit Brighton. Brighton were fantastic. They ran us off the pitch 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row. Ran us off the pitch. It was jogger bonita for them. They were having fun. And look how easy it was for them to score. Like that Matoma goal. A goalkeeper got an assist. A goalkeeper got an assist. Route 1. Matoma, incredible touch. Great finish. Some argue Chabler could have done better. Some argue Jorgensen could have done better at the save. Yeah, I agree with that to a point. I do agree with that to a point. But you can't take much away from Matoma. It's a moment of brilliance. That touch, plucked out. The ball had snow on it. Had snow on it. Bosh. Deft touch. Turn it around. Put it in the net. You can't. It's just one of those goals, right? It's just one of those goals. However, the rest of the game could have been 4, 5, 6-0 to Brighton. Because Maresca won't change anything. He won't change it. This inverting stuff clearly isn't working. You're inverting players that clearly aren't comfortable inverting. Why are we still playing Gusto if Reece James is fit and available? I had a lot of people arguing on my TikTok video in the review saying Gusto is one of our best defenders. Really? You're entitled to your opinion, of course. I thought he was shocking for the last 2 games. Couldn't trap the ball, couldn't control it, couldn't make a pass, caught out defensively. He might have played a little bit better than he did in the first game. But no, by no stretch of the imagination was he miles better than the rest of that defence. They were all woeful. Absolutely woeful. I think the only player on the pitch that deserves credit again is Caicedo, because even though everyone played poorly, he was the only person trying to keep a thread of that midfield together. Because everyone else just couldn't be bothered by the looks of it. Now, yes, you could argue that, we were robbed of a goal with the Enzo Fernandez foul thing. No VAR really needed or whatever. Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, Brighton would have still steamrolled us because goals against run of play, let's be honest. We had all that possession, no penetration. And it all comes from the manager in that instance. Yes, I understand he's only got the tools available. I get that. I fully get that. And I think Enzo Maresca will be a fantastic manager. And I still think he can do the right things if other things change around him. But he also has to take accountability in terms of his system isn't working. We've been found out. We've seen how good it can do. In the first, we went on a 10-game unbeaten run. Everyone's going, oh yeah, title challenges. And even then Maresca was like, nah, we're ahead of schedule, blah, 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 right? And that, in hindsight, that you can see why he's saying those types of things. He's trying to cover his back because he knows above him are telling him, whoa, hang on a minute. Hang on, we were part of a process, part of a plan. But he has to take accountability. Things aren't working. You have to change things. I'm sick of this. We play one way and that's it. Because we're getting found out too easy. People are running over. A long ball beats us. It's embarrassing, mate. It's just embarrassing. And he has to take accountability for it. And the fourth thing I want to talk about is the sporting directors. And specifically the recruitment, mate. Because what has gone on here? What is this recruitment? We've spent 1.5 billion Great British pounds. And look at the squad we have. Look at the squad we have. Who was going to save us last night? Realistically, and this is no disrespect to the players, because again, it's from the top down, the infrastructure, the vision, the process that we've been sold to for 3 years. Who was going to come off the bench last night and save us? Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, Tyreek George, a youngster who, in my opinion, shouldn't have even been exposed to the absolute garbage that we played last night. I'd have been like, I don't want to play. I don't want to go on that pitch. He's a youngster coming through. What, you expect him to bag us a hat-trick? Change the game? What? Anselmino. We've not seen him pictures in training. Not even seen him kick a ball yet for Chelsea. Oh, is he going to come off the bench and save the day? Our squad is so thin. Where has this money gone? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, right? But if you spend £1.5 billion on a squad, you want to be winning titles. You want to be in the Champions League. You want to be competing in all 4 competitions regardless. But no. We're just chasing children, mate. We're just buying kids. Every day I do a daily Chelsea news on my TikTok account. And every day it's, we're linked with a 12-year-old. We're linked with a 15-year-old. We're linked with a 21-year-old who's never kicked the ball before. All the time. You have to focus on the now. And again, the sporting directors have got a lot of weight on their shoulders in terms of, we spent all this money. It will come good, profit. But where does that come from? Comes from the owners down. So as much as I think we need new sporting directors, it's not going to change because it's still coming from the infrastructure that's been set up by the owners. But they've got so many questions to answer. Spent all this money. Oh, we've got Esteval Willian coming in. We've got Paez coming in the summer. We'll probably either get loaned out or sold for profit as soon as a bidder comes in. It makes us more money because that's all they care about. I don't understand what this recruitment is. We bought that guy from St Etienne. What was it, Ampadu or Amugu? Sorry if I butchered his name. And then we were told, he's not even there to play football. He's there just to train. He's just there to train, and then in the summer we'll ship him off. Send him straight to... Why didn't Strasbourg buy him then? Why don't you use their money rather than ours? Oh, I know why. Chelsea's a bigger brand. You can sell a Chelsea player for more money. So we'll have him sit on the bench, not get a minute of football, because he's not really there to do it. So he's wasting a space on the bench. And there's no disrespect to the player himself. Hey, he's going to take it. Of course he is. He's training at Cobham, training with likes of Palmer, Caicedo, Fernandes. Of course he's going to learn a lot. He's going to learn this loser mentality. But don't worry. Don't worry, because we've hired a mentality coach or a rugby player to instill a mentality into Chelsea Football Club. When is that ever? That's never had to be done. It's never had to be done. It's all a joke, mate. And the sporting directors need to go. Their recruitment is whack. They don't know what they are doing. They just need to go. And the fifth and final thing I want to talk about are the owners. Absolute jokes. 3 years. Now, I'm a very small channel in this space, right? And I've not really started posting consistent content since like October-ish time. And I absolutely love this club. I've been a supporter all my life. I've seen the highs, lows, and I absolutely love it. But right now, I'm an optimistic fan, right? And right now I'm broken. Right now I am broken, and it's because of these owners. When they first took over, I thought the entire thing was a mess, right? Abramovich with geopolitics and had to give the club up, and he didn't want to. And he did us an absolute solid because he loves the club. He wrote the debt off and went, look, I'm going to leave it as good a standing as possible, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to vet the new owners and make sure that they've got it in writing and they're going to look after the club and invest into the academy and do all these things because we have built Chelsea into an absolute world beater, an institution, and I don't want to let it crumble. There's now reports from people that know Abramovich and people that have spoken, people like Obi Mikel and things like that. Abramovich is so distraught that he's watched everything we've built, the fan base, everything, just being destroyed by Clear Lake or Blue Co or whatever it is that they've done where they've made everything an independent company under one shell company, essentially. When they first came in, I was like, cool, look, it's going to be different to Abramovich. Abramovich did things his own way, right? And it worked. We had a merry-go-round of managers, but they were serial winners. We had an incredible squad of players for 15, 20 years that were just absolute mentality monsters, world-class players, big wages, big moment players, won us trophies. Even if they didn't win us trophies, they fought for the badge. That's what we had. The institution. The new owners had everything, the blueprint. They were like, right, if you want to keep Chelsea being at Chelsea, all right, you want to mess about with the back-end financials and make it more efficient? Cool. That's probably valid, let's be honest. Abramovich used to just chuck money at things. But in terms of how the footballing side of things work, we've got it sussed the way we The way works for Chelsea. This is what you do. And they went, nah, get rid of that. We're doing it our way. We're going to sack everyone. Oh, you know, that chef that's been there 20 years and knows everyone on a first name basis. And yep, get rid of her. Don't care. We're going to get all our people in. Now, that's relatively common when a takeover happens, granted. But you don't do that. You do things gradually and you settle in. Well, get rid of Tuchel. Oh, yeah, that's right. The guy who come in and said, you know, I'm at Chelsea to win things, because why else would I be here? And I want to create a team that no one wants to play against, which is exactly what he did. Get rid of him. Get rid of the staff. Start everything again. What we're going to do is we're going to lower the wage structure, which I actually think is a good thing. Let's be real. It's one of the very few things that they've done well. But then we're just going to become a stock market of players. We're a football club. Treat us like a football club. Football first, results first. They've said, oh yeah, financially it wasn't run very well. Well, it must have been, because we had financial backing from Roman, who loved the club, and and trusted the manager. If a manager went, yo, Roman, we need a centre forward, he'd be like, cool, who do you want? Bosh, we'll go get one. And if he's not good enough, he'd trust the manager, and if they went, they ain't good enough, mate, either get rid of them or whatever, they'd be like, all right, cool, no worries. Trusted the manager because the players wanted to play for this institution. They wanted to be a part of Chelsea. They knew what it meant to play for this club. They were competing at every level. And we were making money by winning trophies. We don't even have a front of shirt sponsor because they're waiting for Champions League football. Are you mad? But don't worry, top 4 in Champions League football isn't on the expectation list this year. Make it make sense. We've got about 15 sleeve sponsors. Cool. Slap one on the front of your shirt, because that's what, 40 to 50 million a year we're missing out on. And you want to talk about how financially we're not being run properly? You can't even secure a shirt sponsor. Mate, these owners couldn't run a bath. I'm one of the most optimistic, level-headed Chelsea fans, and I'll pride myself in saying I always look at both sides of things, right? And even within this rant I have and said, oh, the wage structure is pretty good, but this is all the bad things that they've done. And I'm at breaking point. These owners need to sell up and go. And it sounds crazy when you say it out loud because they've been here a few years, but honestly, they said, give us 4 transfer window. We have a 4 transfer window plan. Where's the plan? Because all you've done... And admittedly, again, me being 2 sides of the coin, they did get rid of a lot of deadwood. And I think they do deserve some acknowledgement for getting people like, you know, Lukaku, who was basically just sucking money out of the club, off the books. Fair play. There was a lot of deadwood they got rid of. They brought in a new load of players. Where are they? Oh, they've already been shipped off and sold for profit. And we've got new players in. We've got younger players in on lower wages and longer contracts, so we can spread it all out. So now if anyone wants to buy them, we can make our money back. And on the sheet, there are depreciating assets so we can make money easier. What are you on about? No one wants to come to Chelsea. You look at the January transfer window, we weakened ourselves because they went, nah, we trust in the squad. What? We need a centre-back. We need Caicedo cover. Because that guy's just... He's going to have a heart attack on a pitch, mate. The amount of minutes he played. Enzo took him off 65 minutes yesterday. What was that about? He's already played two-thirds of the match. Might as well keep him on. Or was that Enzo's way of saying, well, we've already lost this match, mate. We can't bring him out. You might as well rest your legs. Mate, it's just an absolute joke. It's rotten to its core, and it starts from the top all the way down. That's why I always say Maresca is not the problem. Yes, he has these accountability things, but what we're blaming him for is a very, very small piece of a massive picture that is rotten, and it comes from the owners. They've said so many times, oh, we admire Brighton. The way they run football is amazing. Buy Brighton then, mate, because we don't want to be run that way. We're not a feeder club. We're Chelsea Football Club. We were one of the most feared teams in Europe. In the Premier League, we were competing for trophies. And it wasn't the whole, oh, it's just the Carabao Cup. None of that. It was, we want to win everything. And now we've got Maresca regurgitating stuff from the higher up saying, oh, we can't really compete on more than 2 competitions. What are you on about? We had about 50 players at the start of the season. What do you mean we can't compete? It's all being fed down from the ownership. And they're trying to tell us and sell us all these dreams and try and tell us that everything's okay. Don't worry, it's part of the bigger picture. What picture? You said 4 windows. What's happening now? You let all the key players that we could have really done with right now, you let them go in January. We didn't strengthen at all. Roman would have doubled down. oh, we're doing really well with these kids. Do you know what we really need? Some experience and a centre forward, and we can cement top four for this season. Let's go spend inflated money because it's January. You always take a bigger risk in January, but he would have done it, and he's done it in before. Fernando Torres, he wanted him, bought him, spent more money on him. All right, he might not have worked out how you want, but that's an example of, all right, cool. Ancelotti wants another centre forward to rotate Drogba and Anelka. We'll go get Torres. At the time, one of the best players in world football. Yeah, all right, cool, we'll go buy him. All right, let me come back off his injury, but I digress. There are examples where we've gone and done it. I'm not saying it always works out, but he would have gone, all right, cool, if you need it, I got you. Maresca isn't being backed. He's even said multiple times, doing what I can with what I got. The owners think, they're happy with the window and they're happy with all these things. Mate, it's just, I feel like I'm just rambling now, but I'm going to be honest, mate. The ownership are breaking people and fans are starting to turn. And I want to applaud every single fan that went to the away game last night. You should be refunded. You shouldn't have to watch that absolute shower of poo. And thank you for chanting Roman Abramovich and Clear Lake out. And all that. You need to be more vocal for match-going fans. If I could be there as more than what I am, I'll be joining in with that 100%. This has to stop. Things need to massively change. The owners are ruining our club. What it means to be Chelsea. They're trying to change everything about it, but keep the brand because it's powerful in terms of sales and business and making money. I get that making money is part of the footballing model, but they're taking it to an extreme where football doesn't matter anymore. I've said this in previous videos. Roman would always focus on the football first, then the future. Not the future, and let the pitch set alight and just watch it burn. They want to redo everything. It doesn't need being done. Cobham is one of the best academies in the world. Look at the talent it's produced in the last 20 years. I'm not even trying to be like, oh, look at us. Genuinely, just look at the players and from an unbiased point of view, look at the talent that's come out of it. Well, you want to redevelop it. What are you want about? It doesn't need redeveloping. Just leave it running as it is. It's clearly doing its job. It's actually one of the reasons why we got out this PSR nightmare. Because you flogged all the academy boys for pure profit. Because you went, oh, that's 100% green on the sheet. Let's get rid of them. It's just a joke. The owners need to go. And like I said, for someone like myself, who has a very, very small platform and a community that I love and enjoy interacting with, and the most optimistic Chelsea fan, I think I'm definitely up there. And I'm broken. I don't know how everyone else is feeling. So these owners just need to go, mate. It's an absolute joke. So those are the 5 things that we learned from Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. Again, sounds like deja vu because not a lot changed. We just got slapped up and performed even worse, which is just, quite frankly, embarrassing, and enough is enough. Thank you so much for all the support. I know that the long-form videos have been a little less frequent. I've just been ill in the last few weeks and my family's been ill and whatnot, but everything's back to normal and getting back on the grind, and I love having a conversation with you guys. So please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video. If you are new around here, subscribe. We're trying to get to 10k by the end of the year. Just let me know your thoughts. What are your current thoughts on Chelsea Football Club right now? What needs to change? Because honestly, it took me a long time to make this video. My head was on Mars last night. Short form was a lot easier to create because you can do it and you can forget about it. That's exactly what I did. And I woke up this morning and I thought, I really need to make a longer video. I want to. But then I thought, do I really want to? Because my head is still on Mars. And I don't want to regurgitate the same stuff over and over again. So just let me know your thoughts below. I would genuinely interested. I want to have a conversation with you guys. Like I said, if you are new around here, leave a like, subscribe. If you made it this far to the end of the video, you're an absolute real one. But there'll be a thumbnail on the screen. So if you are a Chelsea fan who enjoys Chelsea content, make sure you click that thumbnail because you enjoy that video too.